Watch this. You see that little stop right there? It's fear. These are all little tells for me in mental warfare, in psychological warfare.
Conor's psychological warfare is largely based around his trash talk, which has three main components. First, he will harshly identify a flaw in their fighting. Then he will zero in on a physical attribute to constantly criticize and ridicule. Third, he will use his confidence, charisma, and quick wit in a form of verbal jujitsu to flip and reframe anything anyone says back at the opponent, making them think twice before insulting him again. All of these combine to leave the opponent feeling mentally drained and often emotional before the fight has even begun, offering Conor a huge advantage in a contest where you need to be on your A-game constantly. Although Conor can be brash, he has a deep understanding of martial arts. He begins trash talking by zeroing in on a legitimate flaw in the opponent's fighting style, letting them know in a condescending and disrespectful way he has them figured out.
And he got wobbled about 40 times. His chin is deteriorating. Every single contest he gets in, he hits one knee. He does a gust of wind and he does the chicken dance. You know what I mean? His weakness is obviously his chin, you know. You get wobbled in every fight, Dustin. Every fight. You get dropped to one knee in every fight.
By insulting Dustin's head and his background in a comedic way, Conor kills two birds with one stone, simultaneously putting down his opponent while getting the crowd on his side.
You've been calling Dustin P-head?
Mm-hmm. Those are facts. I believe he has a P-shaped head. If you look at his head, it's shaped like a P. It's a weird-looking head. Dustin's little P head is going to get removed. It's going to get put into my collection about nothing. Dustin's little P head. Don't get me wrong, I like the kid. He's a quiet little hillbilly from the back ass of nowhere. I'm sure he grew up in a circus or a fair. You know, he's a nice little kid. His cousin's probably named Cletus or something. I don't know. He's a nice kid.
Sometimes it's on the feet, sometimes it's submission, but in the end, my hand's raised every time.
You know, he doesn't have a vision of what's going to happen, as you can clearly see.
Dustin, how's it going to feel to be fighting him on your home turf?
It's not his hometown. He's from a little back-ass town, Mississippi or Missouri or some little farm town.
The moment you know Conor is in his opponent's head is the moment they show submission, uncharacteristic emotion, or at a complete loss for words.
We're ready to fall.
A few days away, my friend.
Breaking eye contact, especially during a tense situation, is a telltale sign of submission or a heightened sense of anxiety. The second thing to note here is that Dustin actually trails off toward the end of his sentence, barely whispering the last word out. This is a huge sign that he was lacking confidence here.
A few days away, my friend. It's also aggravating because I have to keep hearing it over and over and over again. Every time I turn on, my phone and go to Twitter, it's the same stuff. Gonna take your head off. You have a pea head, and it's over and over. It's just like a broken record now. I'm tired of hearing it and ready to do it. I've never disliked somebody that much that I've ever fought.
Other than that, he has looked very, very, very basic. He backs up. He is a novice in my eyes. I look at him as a novice. He throws an overhand right. He looks at the floor, closes his eyes, and hopes for the best. This is day one beginner stuff. He's a little 5'2" twerp.
All right, I'm 5'6".
You're 5'4" at least. You should stand up because we can barely see you on the screen.
Yeah, all right. Conor, do you know what wrestling is?
I can rest my balls on your forehead.
Yeah, I know.
This is the moment where it's clear Conor is in Chad's head. Responding to such an insulting comment with, "Yeah, I know, so," is clearly a loss for words.
He's too easily hit. Through all the talk and through all everything else, he can be hit too easily. It's happened to him his whole career. You get dropped every fight. He has a chin. He gets cracked. He gets dropped. It's happened throughout his career. He's a weathered fighter. He's on his way out. He's very, very lucky to be in the position he's in. He's too easily hit, too sloppy, too stiff. His UFC career has been horrendous. He's very, very lucky to be in the position he is in. He understands that.
This is the moment you know Conor is in Eddie's head. When Conor says Eddie's career has been horrendous, Eddie chooses this exact moment to readjust the belt, almost to reassure himself that his career has not been horrendous and he's a legitimate champion.
Look at your face. You're the most beat up guy there is. I mean, his career, he's been damaged big time, but looking at him, he's aged. He looks a bit gaunt. Too stiff, too damn ugly. That's
is an
the
author. He's an author of a book.
Best-selling book. We do it all. We do it all. It's a bestseller. Win or learn, baby.
If he don't apologize, then I'm gonna make him beg. I'm gonna give you a chance to apologize. You apologize to me.
Pay close attention to how often Eddie breaks eye contact while speaking and how his tonality is suddenly monotone and defeated.
I think he talks well the same way Muhammad did, and he speaks well, and he has the masses on his side. But in order to do that, I think he has an uphill battle on Saturday, and they say the chances are slim to none, and Slim's out of town, so he was matched up well. I think they did everything perfectly when it comes to his career.
When Eddie talks about how the UFC did everything perfectly for Conor McGregor's career, he rubs his leg, which is a self-soothing behavior. It can be inferred that he's feeling extra anxious and has likely realized that the UFC is still setting Conor up for success, with this fight included. Conor tips all scales heavily in his favor by entering each contest against emotional and distraught fighters. So where did it all go wrong with Khabib? As Khabib was a two-time Combat Sambo world champion and hadn't lost a round in the UFC at the time, Conor reaches, trying to insult his grappling style. There's no valid critique like normal.
You hold on to legs for dear life. That's how you fight. You dive for the legs and hold on to them for dear life. What kind of fighting is that? What kind of way of fighting is that?
The second fighting critique Conor has, which holds no weight, is that Khabib has a glass jaw, even though Khabib has never been cut or hurt in his entire UFC career.
I am going to truly love putting a bad beating on this little glass jaw rat. He's a glass jaw. And I've seen this man wobble many times. I know he is afraid of a smack.
Khabib, by comparison, states a valid criticism of Conor. When he's tired, he gives up, shoots in, and taps out.
But all the time when he tired, he give up. This is all the time. Like before fights, he talk like, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for this. But when he tired, he give up all the time.
Instead of poking fun at one of Khabib's physical attributes, Conor takes it too far and goes after everything around Khabib. It's important to note that Conor's usual comedic insults are gone and replaced with hateful, emotional comments. He is the one who is emotional here and off his game.
If the tables were turned and there was an opportunity for his father to stab that man in the back, he would do it in a heartbeat. And that's why he is a quivering coward, because he showed fake respect out of fear. His manager is a fucking snitch, terrorist rat. And that's it.
Your grappling is zero.
Stall it then,
I'm
pal.
gonna
Stall
mow
it.
you.
Let's wrestle, kid.
Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. 6 October, let's wrestle.
Let's wrestle. Yeah, you hope, mate.
I'm gonna put him back to box.
Do you believe that the way Conor McGregor behaves, not turning up on time, disrespects you as the champion and the sport?
I don't care about this. I don't care about this. You know, most important, this is believe myself. This is most important.
Here's where we know Khabib is in Conor's head, as we see Conor uncharacteristically emotional and reactive, which is a stark contrast to his usual stoic self.
Emotions cloud reaction. So when I shifted fast, his emotions were clouding his reaction, so his eyes couldn't track me. The same way it's going to be in the fight.
I don't want to
Smash me,
talk.
mate.
I
Don't wanna. Yeah, smash me.
I can smash
You say send location. Here it is, right here in front of you. I'm right in front of you. F you, fool. Don't come at the king. Don't ever come at the king.
Watch the body language here to see whose emotions are clouding their judgment. Khabib is unfazed by the trash talk. Khabib has supreme confidence in his skills and knows exactly who he is, making him mentally bulletproof and impossible to crack. Gone is the stoic, calculated, and quick-witted Conor, replaced by the angry, invested, and childish Conor, leading him to a subpar performance and loss.